When I first saw the Princess Catherine and Prince William, I was just elevated with joy. I just thought, at last, and this is what is so awful about people making complaints and being spiteful and all these things. You sort of look again and you look again and you work out were the newspapers told to send somebody round to take a picture. I don't believe it. But it's a way of being incredibly cruel and building up the idea that everything that Buckingham Palace would do would be crooked. They would have some sort of way of getting things across because they're clumsy, they will make a mess of it. I don't believe it, but you have to be very careful. I looked at Catherine, I thought, should she be carrying a bag because she's only just got out of hospital? Surely, if she had something done in the stomach, you have to be very careful. And then I looked again and I thought, well, it looks very, very light. Perhaps she's just got a bag of something very light in there. I shouldn't be asking that to myself. I should just feel that at last she's out there walking, obviously smiling and happy with Prince William, her husband. We didn't think that he wasn't the right man. I just think that the way people are is just horrendous, actually. And I think that it comes from maybe just a few sources who hate the royal family and who therefore particularly hate Catherine, because up till now, everyone's thought she's perfect, no questions about her. And I think that then these things run. The other thing is that the type of person who sends them and is keen on them is someone who you cannot discuss or you cannot change their mind. Whatever the topic, if they make up their mind what they want to say, no words, no explanations, no photographs, nothing will change them. And it is disgusting. I think it's why really things have to be done about it, perhaps get rid of TikTok because people are obsessed with it. And it's a sort of challenge to be worse and more rude and more unpleasant, and really settle down to this, because we can't have it that our royal family, that is so respected around the world, of most sensible people, will be attacked like this. I'd love it if you could get rid of all these idiots who don't think things through and just say whatever suits them and try and create anger, spitefulness, and nastiness. That's from my view, and I think that's probably what a lot of people, I hope it is anyway. But we've also got to think of the power and effect it has on the royals. I think they can only take so much attack, because we must remember that they are there to give, not to take. And they are brilliant. The royal family is brilliant, and they look after the country and the Commonwealth extremely well. They might not be 100% perfect, but then I don't know anybody who is. But they do their absolute best, and they have millions of people who think they're wonderful. So we've got to stop that. We have to look after them. We have to respect them and show that we really don't care about this spiteful and nastiness. It's come over in so many areas of life now, but we have to do something about it. How you do it, I don't know, because a lot of them who send emails and X's and TikTokers and all those sort of things, they don't use a real name. You can't identify where they are. So that needs to be changed too, so that anybody who uses these things should have a name which is put down and can be looked up, and you can see where they are. We don't know if anybody is from England, from America, from Australia, from anywhere it could be. And we have to work that out so that it's down there. If you've got a passport, you've got, okay, you've got to have some sort of passport to use these hideous means of hurting people. And indeed, not just the royal family, but all of us who admire them. I've never seen anything like this before. This pure nastiness. I mean, you have people who don't like the monarchy and they wish they didn't have it. But that's been moderate. They've given their view, they're entitled to their view. But actually, when it's really, really nasty, I think it's vile. Why do people want to be so vile? If they don't like the royal family, well, don't read about them, don't look at them, step back, get on with your own life. But there's something in so many people's mind and thought now that there's pouring of evil words, evil and things that they want to do. I mean, it is absolutely extraordinary. They've got no manners, they've got no understanding that other people might have a different view, not interested. They want to kill everything off to please them. But that's nonsense, because we have to live as a society and we have to live with people with different views. But actually, to attack our royal family who do so much is just poisonous.
My immediate reaction was absolute delight, because funnily enough, I'd been saying for some time that I thought it would be nice to have a photograph of Catherine with the children in the garden. Well, as we know, that didn't work. And then I thought, well, the next solution surely is to have her moving about. And I thought it was a lovely little clip. I hope it was totally spontaneous and not sort of preordained. I suspect it was. I mean, there are always people with iPhones around who seize the moment. But, you know, there she was with William walking out of the farm shop. They go through a little gate, I think, into the park, not terribly far from Adelaide Cottage. And, you know, I hope that'll put an end to a lot of these ridiculous conspiracy theory stories that are going around. You will never, ever stop people coming up with ludicrous conspiracy theories. I mean, if you're a conspiracy theorist, that is what you do, and nothing will ever persuade anybody. But we are talking about Sun readers who are, on the whole, bright and intelligent people, and they should get the point that the princess is obviously getting better. We were told we won't get to see her or hear any news from her until Easter. That's still over about 2 weeks away. So I would think, from what I saw on that footage, it's every possibility that she will appear for the Easter service. If she doesn't, so be it, but she might. Somebody disappears from view. We're not going to see her for 3 months. Well, that seems to be an opening for a conspiracy theory, doesn't it? You know, you can cook up anything, and if it isn't denied or there's no evidence to the contrary, well, it runs. And I think the photograph, you know, was so well intentioned. I mean, originally what they were going to do is just release a photograph of mother and children together to celebrate Mother's Day. As you know, the purpose of the photograph was to reassure us that she was well. And unfortunately, it failed because, as it had been tampered with in a minor way, it could have been completely fake. So I can see that that gave them more mileage. But I don't think they're going to get any mileage out of the footage that we've seen in the Sun, because there she is walking along with William. She's carrying something probably not very heavy in her hand. She's slim. She's looks cheerful, happy. I don't know what else you can ask for, frankly. You will also have people telling you that it's a lookalike or some model that they've brought in. I mean, they will go on forever, but I'm happy to trust that footage because I know the farm shop. I know where Adelaide Cottage is. It all fits, frankly. I think the point I would really like to make is that that Catherine is the greatest asset to the monarchy. We all love her. She's brilliant. She's got lovely children. She's got a lovely husband. They obviously get on very well together. They must both be under enormous stress at the moment because he is, of course, as all princes of Wales are, a heartbeat away from the throne. But in the light of the fact that his father is unwell, I imagine that this has become something which, you know, could happen. You know, he must be wondering whether it might happen rather sooner than later. I hope not, but that must be a thought. She has been unwell, so he's having to look after her. They've got 3 small children at school. They're very hands-on parents, and I cannot imagine why anyone would wish to criticize either of them for whatever they do under those circumstances. And I think it says more about the people doing the criticizing than what you might call the principals, William and Catherine. I don't think that the monarchy is hanging on by a thread. I think the monarchy is very stable, but inevitably, we heard a lot about the so-called slimmed down monarchy, and I would advise anyone to listen to what Princess Anne has to say at every time she is persuaded to say something, because she very rightly said last year, the slimmed down monarchy doesn't look very good from where I'm standing, because at the moment, if you think about it, you've got the king ill. He's okay. He's working away at Buckingham Palace. Queen Camilla is very much the front of the monarchy. She is the one who's out and about and doing things. William does what he can, but he's also, as I've said before, he's looking after his wife and small children. You've got Princess Anne, who is very busy. You've got Prince Edward and Sophie, and you've got the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester. And that is the slimmed down working royals. The most successful members of the royal family are those who support the monarch, in this case, the king, and don't compete with him. And you don't need me to tell you where people have competed and where it's gone wrong in the past. But the present working members of the royal family are all immensely supportive of the king, and they help him in whatever way they can. That's what they do. And they do a good job, and we're jolly lucky to have them. You probably wouldn't invent them. They are there. They're willing to work. If you look at their programs, they are sometimes diabolically full. I mean, the amount of things they do each day, not all of which we see, of course. So, let's keep them and just hope that that the king gets better and that Catherine gets better, and that things sort of take some sort of normality in the course of the summer.